The list of upcoming JRPG releases is star-studded. In addition to the highly anticipated remakes, JRPG fans can look forward to new titles from beloved developers. Series that fans thought they would never see another episode of will also have long-awaited sequels. It's pretty clear that the next few months will be important for JRPG fans, regardless of your favorite gameplay, theme or art style, which is why I've brought you this video with the next JRPGs that will be released for you to enjoy. Level 5's puzzle RPG puts players in the shoes of Detective Harvard as he solves crimes in a futuristic open world. Harvard must use VR and other immersive tech to conduct investigations and fight in a perfect simulation in the real world. To solve crimes, Harvard must inspect crime scenes and gather evidence. Suspects must also be profiled and the case pieced together via the caseboard and evidence table. Once the culprit is identified, Harvard and his team must capture the target via turn-based combat. JRPGs, no matter how we love them, typically stick to one story and no branching narratives. SaGa Emerald Beyond is bucking that trend. The story branches abundantly depending on your choices and actions, says the game's official Steam page. Every time you visit a world, the story will evolve, allowing the protagonist and player alike to discover new possibilities. There will be multiple endings you can discover as you play as 6 different lead characters in the game. The battle system sounds dynamic too, as you can support party members, interrupt enemy actions, and use united attacks by strategically manipulating the order of ally actions. Granblue Fantasy is a curious IP that many know for its gacha game and fighting spin-offs. It boasts a vast cast and intriguing setting many have still not yet experienced due to the genres at play. Thankfully, the upcoming Granblue Fantasy, Relink will remedy that by introducing the franchise to a new audience via an action JRPG. Granblue Fantasy, Relink takes place in SaGa Grand Kingdom, where primal beasts act as island guardians, and a secretive organization known as the Church of Avia does who knows what. The protagonists end up contending with these factors, with the fate of the Sky Realm hanging in the balance. The gameplay is the primary focus here, with plenty of playable characters, each instilled with unique combat styles. This variety is bolstered by changeable weapons and sigils, as well as unlockable mastery nodes for new skills and enhanced stats. These tasks are all divided into quests, which can be approached either solo or with other players. Plus, post-game has been emphasized as quite extensive. Based on what we've seen and played, Granblue Fantasy, Relink certainly seems to be a must-play for action game enthusiasts. A free demo, comprised of a whopping 11 playable characters, is even planned to arrive this month. Isn't that just like certain Japanese properties? They have to make a thing, and they decide to give it a super long title just to make it fit the game? In this case, we're talking about Shiren the Wanderer, the mystery dungeon of Serpentcoil Island. No, we're not saying that name again, okay? The game follows Shiren, a warrior who has been traveling the land with his friendly ferret, when he receives a vision to save a princess who is being held captive. That was the easy part of the journey because they'll have to go through multiple dungeons and fight loads of monsters to save her and get out alive. After a very successful crowdfunding campaign, Eiyuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes is set to release on April 23rd. It restores the thrilling gameplay mechanics of the Suikoden series. Some of the original staff are behind this, while adding some modern flourishes to the formula. It also mixes some pretty 2D polygon art with vibrant 3D surroundings, similar to the Octopath Traveler series. I can't wait to dive in as I, like many others, have never tried the beloved Suikoden games before. Kingdom Hearts fans are delighted by the prospect of Reynatis. Composed by KH musician Yoko Shimomura and written by Final Fantasy alum Kazushige Nojima, this game is set within a magical take on Shibuya. This is a similar premise to Kingdom Hearts Force Quadratum, which is based on the area. One of the main characters even has the red plaid design that Sora wears. The intense action RPG combat attracts many who love the genre with flashy combos and gorgeous visuals. We'll see how Reynatis fares when it releases sometime in the fall for Western audiences. If you don't mind playing the game in Japanese, it's out on July 25th for that territory. Created by much of the original team, this spiritual successor to Shadow Hearts was part of a wildly successful dual Kickstarter with ReFantazio. There's no shortage of well-loved JRPGs that aren't getting any more sequels, so these new entries in all but name are important for dedicated fans eager for more of their favorites. Penny Blood features the kind of gothic horror that made Shadow Hearts a success. It's not expected to launch until 2025, but will certainly be worth the wait. Developed by Furyu, Legend of Legacy Remastered takes place on the island of Avalon, discovered a decade ago, and is full of mystery, with it having been supposedly forged by gods and elementals. Many have attempted to find significant treasures comprised of considerable power on this land, with 7 new heroes now joining the fray. Each hero has their own skills, stories, and desires. Players will need to manage battle formations and delegate combat roles to achieve victory, alongside forging contracts with the elementals to utilize select skills during battle. This title, which was initially on 3DS and the predecessor of the Alliance Alive, features notable staff, such as illustrator Tomomi Kobayashi, renowned composer Masashi Hamauzu, writer Masato Kato, game designer Kyoji Koizumi, and Masataka Matsuura. Certain developers are known for just making RPGs and making ones that are really good in one form or another. Vanillaware is one such developer, and they're gearing up for their next big launch with Unicorn Overlord. The game will feature an expansive medieval world, full of might and magic, for you to explore and reclaim. Your goal is to take back your homeland and bring in the other kingdoms to help you with your cause. The game's world will be full of activities to partake in, so seek them out and see what benefits helping others can bring. The first mainline mana game in 15 years is arriving on PlayStation, Xbox Series, and PC systems during the summer season. We'll be exploring a stunning anime-inspired world with glorious environments and striking character designs. Composers from the series, like Hiroki Kikuta, Tsuyoshi Sakido, and Ryo Yamazaki are returning to score the soundtrack. I can't wait to be enlightened by the JRPG treat when it releases. Hopefully, we hear more about it soon. Demonschool is an indie strategy RPG inspired by early Persona games like Persona 1 and 2. You play as Faye, a young university student who belongs to an ancient bloodline of demon hunters. Working alongside your misfit classmates, you will defend the world from demons from the underworld who want to destroy humanity. Atlus is pumping out many JRPGs in 2024, as Metaphor, ReFantazio is expected to launch in the same year as Persona 3 Reload during the fall season. Not much is known about this upcoming JRPG, but we do know Shoji Meguro, Persona 5, Catherine, is behind the music, and Katsura Hoshino, Persona 5, Shin Megami Tensei 3, Nocturne, is directing the game. A new Monster Hunter is always a cause for celebration, and Wilds looks primed and ready to be an impressive work of art. Although details are still fairly scarce at this point, Capcom has confirmed that a 2025 release is on the cards and that the game will launch on the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X/S. Consequently, Wilds will likely have more in common with World rather than Rise, since the latter was designed around the Nintendo Switch's limitations, resulting in fairly small maps compared to its predecessor. Now, an argument could be made that Monster Hunter exists in a unique category outside of RPGs, which is certainly fair. Still, the games always incorporate a variety of role-playing elements, and they are generally good picks for fans of the genre who want to focus on action over story. Lost Hellden is a new upcoming JRPG being made by the developers of Astria Ascending, Final Fantasy XII, and Gravity Rush. Set in the beautifully hand-painted world of Era, you play as Seifel, a warrior who is on a mission to retrieve his brother Let, who ran away from home. To accomplish your goal, you will need to explore every corner of Era for clues of Let's whereabouts, gather allies to aid you in your quest, and train your skills to defeat monstrous demons created by the 7 deadly sins that roam the land. YS10, Nordics came out on September 28, 2023, in Asia, so Falcom's most recent entry in its long-running JRPG franchise is available in some parts of the world. However, the English version's release date has yet to be confirmed. While YS9 garnered a slightly mixed reception, the overall series has been on a high since YS8, which helped expose the decorated license to a more mainstream audience. If reviews of the Japanese version are any indication, YS10 will likely be divisive among fans. The game ditches the series party system in favor of a dual protagonist setup. More importantly, a combo system that allows the two leads to combine forces seems to be overpowered to the point of rendering individual abilities somewhat pointless. The ship-based exploration and combat might also prove to be polarizing. Still, Falcom knows its way around fun action, and even if YS10 proves not to be among the franchise's greatest creations, it should still be very enjoyable. Based on the manga series of the same name by Akira Toriyama, Sandland is an action RPG brought to you by Bandai Namco Entertainment. This game takes place in a vast, dry desert where people and demons fight each other for scraps of food and water. You play as Beelzebub, an impish fiend prince who is on a quest alongside his friends to discover the legendary fountain, which is said to provide an infinite source of water to those who find it. The next expansion in the widely popular Final Fantasy XIV MMO is arriving on July 2, 2024. We'll be exploring westward towards Turul and into the city of Tulial. There seems to be a pirate-like theme to this expansion from the trailer we've received so far. With 2 new jobs, you're taking on all new hunts around the map, and you'll be able to gaze at a stunning mountainous region. The Legend of Heroes: Trails Through Daybreak is the 11th mainline entry in the Trails series, taking place after the events of The Legend of Heroes: Trails into Reverie. Following the war with Erebonia initiated by Operation Jormungandr, the Republic of Calvert has thrived economically thanks to reparations. Within this chaotic republic, protagonist Van Arkwright makes his living as a Spriggan. This profession takes on the roles of many as it remains within the gray confines of legality that legitimate avenues of employment can't accept for one reason or another. Combat in Trails Through Daybreak features seamless switching between action gameplay on the field and turn-based encounters with the revamped Action Time battle system. Orbments have also undergone a fundamental shakeup thanks to shard skills, part of the 6th generation combat orbment, Zypha. Another new gameplay feature in Trails Through Daybreak is the alignment system. The outcomes of the choices Van makes will lead toward law, chaos, or in between, affecting future allies, antagonists, dialogue options, city status, and even jobs one can take on. One only needs to look at Zenless Zone Zero's characters to see why this is a JRPG. The style of them is apparent for all to see. Regardless, the game asks you to don a second identity to deal with monsters affecting our world from just out of sight. In this case, there is a warped reality that you can go and fight in to take on enemies known as proxies. You won't have to fight them alone, as you'll get the chance to work with other characters from various sections of the organization fighting them. The much-awaited Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door remaster unfolds on the Switch on May 23rd. This remaster of a 2004 gem has Mario and his pals fighting the likes of Bowser, the Goombas, and more in turn-based RPG action. The combat is so thrilling because it is based on precise button presses. If you nail the timing, your attacks are more effective. Additionally, Nintendo promises revamped graphics and a suite of additional changes that make the game easier than ever to enjoy. Kingdom Hearts: Missing Link continues the somewhat convoluted storyline with yet another mobile experience. This time, the action looks similar to the console combat we're used to. However, the game features similar GPS features to games like Pokemon Go, but it can be played sitting still too. It also seems to be using a card-based system based on prior characters in the Kingdom Hearts series and Disney films. This is likely where the monetary portion rolls in, as Missing Link's a free-to-play title. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.